Hi, Jill here, and today we're going to be working with Copic markers. I've been promising this for a while, so sorry it's taken me a bit. I've been in a bit of a slump. First one, just discuss a few things with you. First, what I like to use is shimmer paper. It's from Stampin' Up. It's also called Cryogen white paper, but I haven't been having a bit of a hard time finding the Cryogen white, so I've been going with the shimmer from Stampin' Up. I always like to stamp my images with the Onyx Black VersaFine ink pad. That ink pad, if you don't heat set it, your Copics will make it run. So I cover it with clear embossing powder, and that works perfectly for me. Don't use a colored embossing powder. Don't use like black embossing powder, because your Copic markers are alcohol and they'll actually eat away at that embossing. So that's what works for me. Everybody has a different paper. Everybody has a different technique. But I'm going to show you the things that do work for me. I got Copic certified last February, and it was an awesome experience, totally worth the trip. And I'm going to start sharing some of the ideas that I learned in that class, as well as I'm going to be teaching these techniques. So here's my pre-stamped image. I'm going to be working on top of the Baroque Tim Holtz die, just because it shows me where everything should be on my camera. Really good place marker. Okay, so I use Chow's. Reason I use Chow's? Price. I don't know if any of you have noticed this yet, but I'm kind of on a budget. My budget has expanded, but you know, still keeping myself budget minded. So I use the Chow's. I implement the same as I would with the sketch markers, and I actually have several sketch markers, but Chow is my first choice, and I'm slowly building up my re-inkers. And there's even a store not real close to me, but my only local stamp store, and they will refill them for me, so you know, that's easy. We're going to work with E33, E11, E00, and then we're going to do some shading with W1, which is warm gray, and 0, which is the blender pen. So this image is really small, but it's the kind of image I like to work with. I don't like working with those big images. I know a lot of you do. That's fine. You know, you can translate this to those. Everyone has different styles. Everyone has things that they like. I just happen to like these Oriental women. They're from Judykins, and I promise this is going to be the video that I do most of the talking, and then I'm going to be showing you stuff in the next few videos. I'm not going to discuss color theory. I think it's been discussed a whole lot. If you want me to, let me know. We can talk about that. But you're going to take my colors as an example and go from there. You're going to find what you like, what colors appeal to you the most. Okay, so the Judykin image, her name is Chieko. And I have another one that we'll be working with on other colors. We're going to do the face in this video because, well, I talk the whole time. So I have kind of adopted a newer technique lately. I've been watching Suzanne Dean. I really like how she starts with the dark and adds the light. I think it leaves you more room to figure out where you want your light, and if you want to kind of encroach on that with the darkness, and then she lightens later with the colorless blender. So I have found that her style really fits my style. Her distressing look that she does, awesome, and I'm doing a version of that, what appeals to me, but still very similar to what she does. So we're going to start with the face, and all I do is come in and I'm going to shade where I think things are going to be darker. And I'm putting a light source coming from kind of here, but remember, she's wearing a hat. So you're going to see a lot more shading on this side of her face. So that's with the E33. I'm going to come in with the E11. And I like to work in a circular motion. Again, this is one of those things you're going to find everybody's different. There's a flicking motion, there's circular motion. I'm sure there's other motions, but those are, you know, the two main ones. Okay, so that is the E11. And then I'm going to come in even further with E00. Now this image is coming out a little dark for me, which is fine because I can easily lighten her up. Look at that E00 lightens everything. I just love how it does that. And then I'm going to come in with the W1 for a little bit of shading. Again, we're imagining that light source. Don't want a lot of shading. Just, don't want her to come out too dark. So again, that was the W1. W3 works good too. And then come back with a little bit of E00. And again, just a little bit of that light touch there. And pull that color back out. So you see how that W1 really warmed up these colors. It's exactly what warm gray is supposed to do. And then you're just going to come back in, if you think it's a little bit dark, you want to highlight, I do, with the colorless blender. Now the blender I have to talk about a little bit, and I have to actually come back in and put a little bit of my 00 in there. I'm seeing a real bright spot. Colorless blender. Now those of you that are familiar with Tombows and Marvies, any watercolor markers, a blender pen, the Dove blender, it blends things together. So this blender pen is a little deceptive in its name because it's more of an eraser, and that's how I've heard it referred to, and that's exactly how I would refer to it, because it's going to erase your color. It pushes color also. So if you make a mistake, you color it and push the color back towards where it should be. But it also erases color. You want to use this very lightly, very sparingly. Let it sit, let it soak into your paper. Get a feel for how light something is, and then you can come back with more. I just come in with a light flick, a little bit right there in the center of her face where I want things a little bit lighter. So now let's just do the hands and arms. And again, we just have a little bit of darkness there. Again, we're using the same color combination, E33 into E11. Down to E00 for your bright spot. A little bit of the warm. Whoops. A little bit of the warm. Don't need the blender on this one. And then this one I'm not liking how it blended. A little bit more E11. E00. And there we have it. Her hands, her face, all nicely blended and ready to go. So I'm gonna stop talking for a minute here because I feel like I just talked and talked and talked. And then we'll come back with the pink, and then we're going to come back with the purple. Hopefully I can combine the two by showing you just little bits of each of them. So come on back. I'll be uploading these and I'll be starting some new ones. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.